Hello, my name is Mitch Edelman, and I'm here to ask for your vote to continue serving you and our community as a member of your Democratic Central Committee. I've lived in Carroll County for 35 years and have been a member of your Carroll County Central Committee since 2014. Before that, I worked at the Social Security Administration and taught computer science at UMBC for 25 years before retiring in 2011. I served in the United States Army, and you may know me from the column I write for the Carroll County Times. While everything the Central Committee does is public and open to you, much of our work goes unnoticed, and that's actually a pretty good thing. The only time you really notice political activity is when something's gone off the rails. And in the past 4 years, while I've been a member of your Central Committee, and for quite a while before that, we've kept to the rules and stayed off the newspaper's front pages. But that also means you may not know all the things your Central Committee does. We are unpaid, grassroots elected volunteers with strong commitment to democratic principles of fairness for all and a responsible and responsive government. We work to elect Democrats to public office. We're the folks at the Democratic Party booth when you visit Fall Fest, and we're behind the desk at the Democratic Party office during election season. We register voters. We organize the Democratic Victory Dinner in May and the party breakfast in October. But mostly we're your friends and neighbors working together to build a Carroll County for all. In addition to these activities, which all Central Committee members do, I've served on the Maryland State Democratic Party's Rules Committee for the last 3 years. I've worked with Democrats from across the state to implement gender equality rules to assure that women and men are equally represented at all levels in our party. After our state party chair resigned in 2016, I helped write the rules to assure an orderly transition of leadership. Hardly glamorous, I know, but it's the kind of stuff that keeps our party running smoothly, and I'm happy to do it. I bring experience and commitment to the job. I'm Mitch Edelman, lifelong Democrat and grassroots volunteer. I'm asking you to vote in our primary election June 26th or in early voting beginning June 14th. And when you do, please vote for me to continue serving on your Carroll County Democratic Central Committee. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Raquel Walsh, and I'm a candidate for the Carroll County Democratic Central Committee. I've thought a lot about what being a Democrat means to me and what I can contribute to the Central Committee. I believe in the Democratic Party and its platform. It's a party that believes, as I do, that all people should have the same opportunities to achieve the American dream, without discrimination due to gender, race, religion, age, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status. Truthfully, I haven't always been a Democrat. When I turned 18 and registered to vote, I registered as a Republican. Almost everyone I knew was a Republican, and I really didn't follow the news or politics that closely. It wasn't until I expanded my circle and began talking to people that weren't just like me that I learned a few things. I learned that there really is a system in place to prevent certain segments of society from being successful. I learned that there really were people who worked full-time jobs and still couldn't afford to put food on the table. That some people with serious health issues couldn't afford the treatments that they needed through no fault of their own. I learned that just pulling yourself up by your bootstraps isn't possible when the deck is stacked against you. And so I realized that the Republican Party was not for me. Like a lot of people, I started to follow politics more closely through the 2016 election cycle. I was so excited to take my 4-month-old daughter to vote with me on Election Day, thinking that in her short lifetime, she would know the first Black president and the first female president. I went to bed that night with the race a lot closer than I expected. And when my daughter woke up in the middle of the night, I checked the news and realized Trump had won. I couldn't believe that our country had elected a president who had boasted about sexual assault, who had nefarious relationships with a country that interfered in our election, and who had mocked a disabled reporter, a former prisoner of war, and the parents of a soldier who had lost his life in service to our country. I knew then that I could no longer sit in my place of privilege. It was time for me to take real action to support the values I believe in. And so I found Vocal Carroll County, an inclusive grassroots organization that advocates for moral and just principles, policies, and officials in local government. And then I found the Carroll Community Action Network, or Carroll CAN, a group that is committed to action in our community and our nation that honors diversity, promotes equality, and is inclusive, ethical, and just. I eventually took on leadership positions in both organizations. I'm a prior steering committee member for Vocal Carroll County. I'm proud of the work I did in Vocal to encourage the Board of Carroll County Commissioners to pass an ethics ordinance that complies with Maryland state law. This year, for the first time since the state law was passed 8 years ago, the voters of Carroll County will have access to expanded financial disclosure information from candidates for the Board of County Commissioners. Voters will finally have information to which we're legally entitled that will allow us to make an informed decision when we cast our votes. I'm the current leader for Carroll CAN. We participate in calls to action for local, state, and federal issues that are important to us. We host candidates for public office at our monthly meetings, including candidates for county commissioner, county judgeships, state delegate, Congress, and governor and lieutenant governor. And I organized our first ever local march, the Carroll County Women's March. We were joined by 300 people as we marched down Main Street in Westminster to support equality and inclusivity in our community. I can bring to the Carroll County Democratic Central Committee the leadership experience and organizing abilities I have strengthened through these two groups. And I will bring my passion for the party as we work to elect Democratic officials at all levels of government. I am proud to be a Carroll County Democrat, and I hope that I have your vote in June. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or would like to talk. My email address is raquel.l.walsh@gmail.com, or you can follow my Facebook page, Raquel Walsh for CCDCC. Thank you for your time.